Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and anybody else that's out there. This is Brian Tarian from the Disability Digest, and welcome to our Wednesday YouTube live event. Today, we are excited to discuss with you how you can use like the latest technology of artificial intelligence for free to help you get your disability benefits qualified. That's this week's topic. And if you're already approved for disability, you may need this when you go through a review and make sure that you understand how to use it. And then next week, we're going to be dealing with related topics of how to use the free artificial intelligence to get jobs that are conducive to your disability. So we'll teach about that in housing. So that's what we have on tap for you. So today I have my trusted assistant, David, with us, and back for the first time in a few weeks, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Philip Price. Welcome back, Philip.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be back.
Great to have you here. The place was falling apart with you gone.
Wow, that fast, huh?
That fast. Didn't take much. So it's great. Folks, if you are new here, welcome. Our focus on doing these events and the other resources that we provide, which you'll learn about in this show, is to be your trusted resource for Social Security disability benefit information. We've been working since 2006 with the focus to advocate for people to help them get their disability benefits approved. And then once you're approved, we focus on helping you understand how to keep those benefits. About 145,000 people a year lose their benefits. Many times it's avoidable. And also to maximize your benefits. Things like, are you getting everything that you're entitled to? Are you paying for things that you shouldn't be, and more? So that's the work that we do here. So I hope that you find value in this event. We would love to hear your comments. So that's what we have on tap for today. Oh, and we will be taking some questions and some phone calls today. So you are welcome to enter your question at any time into the chat. David will monitor that. And then I know, Philip, you have some questions that have been accumulated that we will address as well. Okay. So shall we get started? Oh, one thing I wanted to mention before we get started, I just came across my virtual desk, is for those of you that may fall into the unfortunate unique category that you have long haul COVID and you've had a challenge getting approved for your disability benefits. There's been some recent action on this where some senators have written a letter to Social Security. These senators here, one of which is Bernie Sanders from Vermont. And that letter has encouraged Social Security to take a different look at the condition and the limitations for qualification purposes. So if you're struggling with that, we actually have the copy of the letter here. You can reach out to us if you're a member and we're invited to this event. Just hit reply. That could be information that you could put into your disability approval case file to help you get your benefits approved. All right. So first of all, I did a similar series of events last year, about a year ago, actually a little more than a year ago, about how to use artificial intelligence and AI to help you get your benefits and the other topics that I'm going to talk about. And so since then, there's been lots of development because it's new technologies and there's been advances. And the first thing I want to do is just cover the basics, like what is artificial intelligence? So what's on your screen right now is Chat GPT. And for those of you that use this, don't worry, I'm going to get a little deeper into it in a minute. But it's something free. You can go to Chat GPT and you can sign up for this AI tool. And you can get paid versions, and there certainly is value in that. And then you can start to enter questions. And I'm going to put in here, what is AI, artificial intelligence, in 50 words or less, so that I can help you understand what it is. And so it will quickly go through its memory base and collect and present an explanation. Now, folks, listen, it's not always right. It's getting better and better. And a lot of what determines if it's right is what you ask it and how you ask it. So this is the response. Artificial intelligence, AI, is a simulation of human intelligence by machines, particularly computer systems. It enables them to perform tasks such as learning, reasoning, problem solving, and decision making. Has leveraged algorithms of data. It gets kind of techie at the end here. But the key point I have covered. So it behaves like a human mind. So there's other things that you can use this for. Like I have just last week, I had an assistant that's working with me, and I didn't have time to prepare a dinner for company. So I put a menu in here. I asked Chat GPT, please create a menu for meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and corn with the directions to buy and purchase. And I put some specifics about the ingredients. It was that simple, and it spit the whole thing out. So there's other applications, but using it will help you learn how it works for different applications. Okay. And Chat GPT is not the only one. There's other companies that have it that you can sign up for free. You can even, like here at the Disability Digest, we have purchased and created a system that allows us internally to ask it any disability related question and get an answer. So it's really it's powerful, is a point that I want to make. Okay, so just to repeat, we're going to cover two different aspects today of information that you can use to help you get your disability benefits approved. And the first one is kind of a similar to what I've covered in prior weeks, which is how to explain that you qualify for disability in a short, concise statement. Like, Philip, I was looking through your group earlier, and there's a lot of questions still, and maybe they're new. Like I have lupus and arthritis. Has anybody else been approved? Right?
Yeah.
But folks, it's not the conditions that is going to determine if you get approved. It's the other aspects of, are they diagnosed? Are they treated properly? Are there limitations that are clearly documented that prevent you from working? Okay. So the first thing we're going to go over is this prompt right here that will help you for your qualification statement. And for a qualification statement, you can use this. You should use this at any stage if you haven't, because even if you're approved, it's important for you to understand why you're approved when you get your review, and having a short, concise statement that is on point, that will help Social Security understand that you still qualify when you go through your review is going to be helpful. So this is an example, and it's, there's maybe other ways to do it, but this is what we've done and it works for us here. So I'm going to read the prompt statement, and then I have an actual example here that I'm going to use in ChatGPT. So this is what you call the prompt, this part in black. I have not been able to do my job as and you would insert the type of work that you do, since the date that you stopped working, because I have whatever conditions they are. Despite being treated by insert primary care and your doctor's name, I am, and then insert your limitations. So followed by prepare an explanation in less than 8 sentences for Social Security why I'm not able to work, referencing my limitations and qualifying for disability benefits. Okay. So you're like, oh, this is great, Brian, but how am I ever going to remember all that? In the show notes on YouTube, you go into the details underneath, you'll see this prompt is there for you to use. So you can just copy and paste it out of the information and then modify it like this example here. So this is an example that says I've not been able to do my job as it's got a typo in here, truck driver since December 2nd, 2023, because I have degenerative disc disease, diabetes, and gout. Despite being treated by my primary care and pain management, I'm not able to sit for more than 15 minutes, stand for more than 20 minutes. Vision is 2300 in my good eye. And then it says prepare a statement, so on and so forth, like I just read. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to modify it so that it has your information in like I just read. Then you're going to take your statement and you're going to put it into ChatGPT or some other AI like tool, and then you'll hit enter, and then it's going to go do its thing. So here we go. All right. So it works really fast. Okay. So here's the statement. Why this person is not able to work. Since December 2nd, 2023, I've been unable to perform my duties as a truck driver due to severe degenerative disc disease, diabetes, and gout. My conditions limit my ability to sit for more than 15 minutes, stand for no more than 20 minutes without experiencing debilitating pain. Additionally, my vision has deteriorated to 2300 in my good eye, significantly impairing my ability to drive safely, so on and so forth. That's a statement there that there's one important place that you can use it. When you start your initial application and you submit all of your information, at the very end, there is a remarks section. And in the remarks section, you can add your statement as to why you're qualified. That's the only place in the initial application, and it has a character limit, and I don't remember what it is, but it's more than what we're doing here. So you could expand upon this a bit if you wanted to. But that's one good place that you would use this. The other one is, let's say you haven't applied, you don't want to apply on your own, or you have applied and you've been denied, and you are interested in seeing if a disability representative would take your case. Having a short, concise statement like this when you speak to somebody, especially in today's environment, when there's a lot of Social Security disability cases and people that do this work are very busy, will help them understand, like, okay, this person understands the process. It would make you, in my opinion, much more attractive, increase their interest in working with you. Another place that you would be able to use this is if you're managing your own case or get contacted by Social Security directly, then you could communicate the question. Listen, if you're using a representative, I encourage you to follow their protocol. Most that do this work would advise you not to communicate a statement. They would prefer to do it. But if you are doing this on your own, then of course you don't have a representative. Okay, so that is the first example I'm going to use. Folks, I see that people are joining us and still streaming in here. Welcome, welcome. We're going to go through one more example of how you can use AI in today's event. And then we're going to start taking some questions that I see that are already coming in there. So this is the first one. So if you have questions about this and want to reference it, just say example 1, Brian, I have a question. Or if you want to send me like some of your information, I could modify an example and show you how it works, if that would be helpful. All right, let's move on to the show. All right, the next one I'm going to go through is a case brief. And this is typically something that a legal team would put together. And this is not to replace anything that a legal team does. But it will show you with the same concept an outline of how to prepare a more in-depth explanation as to why you qualify for disability benefits. So this can be used at any time in the application. Ideal times to use this would be you have submitted your initial application and you've used the example that I just showed you to put in the remarks. Your case is in the system. You have received your paperwork about your adult daily living and your work history, and you have a case manager assigned. My suggestion would be to wait until you have a case manager assigned. And then you can fill this out, ideally communicate it directly to your case manager. And what this will do is provide a more detailed view of your disability case. So this is the same concept. It's just got more information in it. I am, age and gender, not been able to do my job, insert job, since, insert date, because I have, insert conditions. Despite being treated by, insert the conditions, insert your treatment team, and taking medications, you can insert your medications. These limitations prevent me from doing any job. Now, here's the key part where most people I expect are going to have a challenge, because they don't, unless you've been following our work, you don't clearly understand your limitations. So this is really going to be hopefully helpful for you. So you insert your limitations here, which is can't sit for 15 minutes, can't stand for 20 minutes, things like that. And then a call to action for the AI is write a one-page legal brief for Social Security. Okay. All right. So here is my example. I'm a 54-year-old male that has not been able to do my job as a nurse since December 2nd, 2023, because I have degenerative disc disease, neuropathy, diabetes, and an A1C of 7.1. Despite being treated by my primary care pain management and taking 8 medications, you could list the medications. These limitations prevent me from working any job. And here are the limitations. This is the kicker, folks. If you don't get this right, it's not going to be as effective. Cannot stand for 15 minutes, sit for 15 minutes, lift more than 10 pounds, sleep 5 hours a night, not able to consistently remember work-related tasks. Okay, so this is our prompt. So you would modify the above to come up with this. And now what we're going to do is ask chat to create a one-page legal brief. Now, if you have a caseworker, you would ask it to write the letter to the caseworker. And if you have the caseworker's address, you would put that in there. You would just put it at the top of the prompt. Or, well, I'm sorry, you would put it, write a one-page legal brief, Social Security disability benefit to my case manager, who is Sally, approve me fast, and whatever her address is. Okay. Here we go. So it gives you the template, name, date of birth, social security number, date of onset. And the date of onset is a date that you were not able to work, which it filled in. Background information, medical evidence, functional limitations. Provides a legal argument. Let me check this, make sure it's right. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So this would really help those that are working on their disability case on their own. Okay, so we provided two different concepts to help you get approved for disability benefits: the short, concise qualification statement and the one-page legal brief. I hope you find this helpful and put it into practice. What I would most appreciate is to hear from people that use this. Or maybe you used it. Maybe you were here in last year's event. You used it and it was successful. You followed some of our other tips. Okay. All right. So at this point in time, Philip, I know that you had some questions. We're going to pivot here and take some of the questions that you have, and then we'll move on to address the ones that are put into the chat, take some phone calls. Let's do it.
Let's do it. First, let me say or ask everyone out there listening that y'all be patient with me. I've had some health problems and my brain function is kind of short-circuiting a little bit. So just be patient with me while I try to read through.
I think you're doing great. Patience noted here for sure.
All right, first one here. It's a little bit of a lengthy one, so bear with me. It says, I have bipolar, PTSD, and severe emotional disturbance. Applied online, my SSI was denied, and my SSDI was decided. Is sending me my determination letter. I am kind of confused because I did not have a hearing. I only met the psychiatrist. Does this mean that I've been denied? Or are the hearings only done after an appeal? I hope you could understand that.
I believe what I'm hearing is I'm gonna close my windows here. The gardener guy running his chainsaw. Is that this individual had their SSI denied, and it sounds like they had their SSDI approved.
I think that's what it
Is
said.
that right? David, I see you nodding your head too. But I don't hear any reference to going to a hearing. It sounds like it might have been at an earlier stage. I'm gonna go with probably yeah. So I'm gonna speculate on this one a bit. Here's what I think happened. This individual applied for disability benefits, and in the application process applied for both SSI and SSDI. Two different programs. SSI is a need-based program, depending on your financial resources and your medical conditions. SSDI based on your work history. Higher check for SSDI. So if this individual had resources like more than, as an individual, $2,500, as a couple actually, or $1,500 as an individual, then wouldn't qualify for the SSI. That would eliminate the ability to qualify for that. So in this case, if that application was going through, they looked at the resource, said no, SSI you don't, but your medical conditions qualify you for SSDI, and your award letter is on the way. Right? Does that sound like it's in line with what the question is?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Just
All right.
one other thing on that, folks. If you're applying for disability and you know that you have assets and resources that exceed the allowed amount for SSI, a consideration is not to take the option to apply for it as well, because it will, shouldn't say will, it could, and it's highly probable that it will slow down, one, your decision process, because they're evaluating two different things. And two, once you're approved, it can slow down your back payment. Actually, a real life example of a member here, Stanley. He was approved in May of 2023. And they just released his money this past week because he had both SSI and SSDI. And they had to figure out like the offset in both. So, or if you don't mind waiting for money, which I don't typically see that, then you do whatever you want. So,
Okay. Ready for the next?
sure.
If I get approved, will I have to take their Medicare, or can I keep my marketplace?
Medicare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have other credible coverage, like a spouse works or something like that, then that's a valid option, but the marketplace is not.
When you are approved for SSDI, do you get back pay? How do you know you get back pay, and when do you receive it?
Yeah. So back pay, I think the best way to answer that is this. If somebody stopped working today, August 14th, their first full month out of work would be September, right? And so the first 5 months that you're out of work, there's an elimination period with Social Security. So there's no back benefits that build up. So that would be, this is how I do my math, folks. It's a pretty sophisticated system. September, October, November, December, January. So in February of 2025 would be the first month that this person would be eligible for back pay. So let's say that you put an application in and it's going to be effective like in September, because it goes by a full month, right? So let's say it goes in September, and then it takes you 10 months to get approved. Well, 5 months is the elimination period, and you'd be eligible for back pay for 5 months. So if your disability check was $2,000 a month times those 5 months that you're eligible, that is how much money? Quiz question answer is $10,000. Yep. If you don't get approved, and it keeps going and building up. So that is the formula. Now, if you've been out of work, for a while, you can go back and capture up to 12 months of back pay. So one thing I seen it a lot lately is people that have been out of work for 18 months, 24 months. They're losing money every month because they only can go back and get 12. So if that $2,000 check that you have, it's just sitting there so Security. They're not going to be knocking on your door. Hey, you might want to think about applying for disability. So, yeah, good question.
This one. So do
Just
I
a
need to report to Social Security that I just won guardianship and conservatory over my mother-in-law?
God bless you. I don't know. I'm gonna go with, I mean, I would, but if you're a Social Security disability recipient, there isn't other income like that or responsibility doesn't impact it. But if you are eligible for Social Security disability and like Medicaid, it may. So based on that, if you want to take, if you are eligible for both, I would do it. Yeah. You want to make sure you follow the resource reporting criteria that you have. And again, if you're just on Social Security disability, the only thing you report is income that you earn from like a job or a side hustle.
Last one here. Do you have to do you have to be out of work for a year to apply?
No, you don't. That's some type of, there's some guy out there, a gal that spreads rumors like you've got to be out of work for like a certain period of time or all initial applications get denied. But you can apply for disability technically the day that you're out of work. So that's what the regulation is. There's some nuances and strategies as to when you should apply. I wouldn't recommend applying the first day that you're out of work, unless you've had something definitive that, like a massive car accident or a stroke, or there's no chance of recovery. Um, then that's an exception. So, yeah. All right, so just a quick moment before we pivot here for the 275 that are out there on YouTube. Welcome, glad to have you. I haven't checked over on Facebook, but it looks like there's 25 or so watching. You can enter your questions into the chat. David is going to monitor the questions and pick some out here momentarily, so we can get your questions addressed. Yeah. Yeah. It actually looks better with 3 people presenting in the room than it does 2. I'm just looking at how it shows in Facebook, but anyway. Okay. What do you say, David? Y'all good? Ready to go?
Yes, yes, sir. We do have a couple of questions here. And I think we can put them on ChatGPT if you like. And
Sure.
let's see the results. But first, if I might have missed if you have mentioned how to avail ChatGPT. Maybe some or most of our members or most people watching don't know if they can avail it for free or if it's absolutely free of charge. So you might want to tell them that.
Would you like to?
So basically, from what I know, ChatGPT is a free tool. It can be a free access to everyone. But then there's a paid version of that. It's called ChatGPT 4.0. And I know in the future or in the coming months, they will release another premium version of that. Maybe it's called 5.0 or something. Not too sure. Don't take my word for it. But there is a paid version, and I assume, or this is what I believe in, that better results are being obtained in the premium version, in the paid version. But the free version is not that bad too. What do you think?
I agree with you. I mean, I use a paid version and I'm just showing you, you can go to, this is a Microsoft browser and just type in Chat GPT and go to it and then get the free version. I believe the paid version is like $15 a month, but and it has I haven't found a significant difference in the usage like I just showed you. Where I see a difference with the paid version is that you can load documents up, like it has a file attachment feature. So how that would be applicable is if you took your medical records and you loaded your medical records via this file attachment, maybe we should do that. And then you could use the information that is in your medical records with the prompt idea that I just provided. So if you're writing a one-page legal brief, say, listen, look into my medical records and extract any conditions that are marked with severe limitations or any physical or mental limitations that I have and put those into this section of the letter. So that you can do, I found much better with the paid version to do that. So the other, if you think about when you review medical records manually, which we still do, and I expect and hope that our audience does out there, that it takes some time to go through and look and to make sure that everything is right. And this just doesn't like that. So that's my take. All right, what's next?
So
Good
let's
point.
thanks, because they might not know it, and yeah, it's basically for free. And honestly, there's not much big difference of the quality of the responses, but that's just a personal opinion.
Mhm.
First question that I can see here, well, it's a concern. I filed my claim back in October 2023. Do you have any idea when I should have an update? This is a timeline question. He lives in Florida.
Oh, okay. October of 2023. So you're coming up on a year and there's no decision. Florida's like 220 something days, which you have exceeded that. So you should. I would follow some of these steps. So if you're using a disability representative, it would be their job to hound down the answer. But if you're not, then it's up to you to do it, which would be to contact your caseworker and just simply ask them, say, listen, I've been waiting, I'm financially challenged, you can't work, that's why I applied for disabilities, or anything I can do to help you, get a decision. So caseworker, a representative, caseworker, those are the two. If you're not getting anywhere with those two, then I would use your local congressional representative. And if you're a member here at the Disability Digest, you can contact our support desk if you don't already have the directions on how to do that. That's actually, we used in our prior AI session, we used how to craft a letter to your local congressional office to get assistance for like disability approval or back payment or other things. So you could use AI to craft a letter, send it to your representative, and they're not going to necessarily get a decision, but they will look for the application and like where it's at and why you haven't received a decision. So those are the steps to take. Yeah. I would definitely do that because you're way beyond the allowed time. Okay, what's next?
Next question from Karen White. I retired early due to medical reasons. It has been 3 years since I am not working. Is it too late to apply for Social Security disability?
No, and I would put it at the very top of your to-do list for a few reasons. I think I had a conversation yesterday with somebody that applied and been denied, and they were him-hawing about going forward, and they were gonna go ask this new doctor and see what their opinion is on working. And I said this, I said, my best advice for you is when you get off the call, or even if you want to take a break from the call, is go stand in front of a mirror. This is facts, folks, and ask yourself straight up, can I work? And you mean, can I work full time, 40 hours a week? And if you're over 50, it could be, can I do my job? Can I still do that type of job? So, and if the answer is no, or I don't think so, or anything short of, oh yeah, hell yeah, I could do that all day, every day, I would definitely do it. Now, in this situation, it's Karen, is that right? What's her name? So with Karen, you
Karen.
have one shot
Mm.
to get approved. And here's why. You've been out 3 years. If you were to wait more than 5 years, your benefits expire. So why you have one shot is you can apply now. And probably if you don't get approved at the initial application, reconsideration, go to a hearing, it's going to go beyond 2 years. And you wouldn't have the opportunity to apply again because you're beyond the 5-year mark. So that's why, it's really a delicate situation for people when they're out of work because of a sickness or an injury. I respect their optimism, not to apply that they're going to get better. I'm all for that. But I would prefer to have people take the safe route and apply and then try to go back to work if you can. And if you can pull it off, great, then you can always stop your application. But if you try to work and you're not successful, that can actually benefit your disability case. One last thing on this, as I'm riffing on it, is you can go for a closed period of disability. Like Karen could have applied when she was 12 months out of work. Maybe it would have taken her 10 months to get approved. And if she decided to go back to work that day that she got approved, she would still get paid for the time that she was out of work. And Social Security is very, they really are in favor of that. They're looking for people that want to use the system as a bridge to get back to work. And I understand some conditions you just can't. But that's my answer for Karen. Hopefully it's helpful. Invite you, if you haven't already, join us as a member. There's no charge to become a member, and get involved in our disability approval course. There's no charge for that. That'll give you the right information, strategy, and access to advocates like us here that can show you how to use it so you can make sure you get through, on this application.
Great. Next, ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Great. So Giselle here asked, hi, I was fully favorable and now a representative is reviewing my case, and then I received a letter on July that I need to wait, I think this is wait, for 75 days for another hearing. Can you explain why?
There's a lot there. I don't know. If you're originally, maybe you went to a hearing and then it got put into quality review and they're questioning the decision and now they're calling you back for a supplemental hearing. Based on the limited information, I'm just like taking a guess. That's my like roll the dice simulation. Anybody get that? So what I would focus on is less of the why and more the when. What do you need to do? Like what? Find out if there's anything missing, any evidence, because you're going back for a supplemental. You still could provide medical evidence, third-party testimonials, residual functional capacity reports from your doctors, all that stuff would be where I would encourage you to direct your energies right now.
Great.
Okay, 333 out there on YouTube. Welcome, glad to have you. How about I open the phone line, see if anybody wants to call in. Now you can call in. I'll still take some of the questions, David. I'm not shutting you off.
Yep.
But you can call in. I'll put the number up in a minute. And if you've got a success story or you want to, share something with us or a question or a case review, that would be fine. So hang on, let me get this going. Yeah, okay, get this up here. Okay, so the phone number to call in, then David, you can get another question while somebody's calling in. I'll take the next question and try to multitask and balance both. Numbers on the screen to call in, 844-717-2454, 844-717-2454. We'd love to hear from you.
We can get in some, like, a single question while waiting.
Yeah, let's do it.
Stacy Shelton, I'll be applying for severe anxiety, depression, and panic attacks. What help can get me approved?
Oh boy. I'm going to hit you with the basics and then where to go to top shelfing. So the first thing is you want to make sure that I applaud you for being here to get a handle on what you need to do to prove. You want to make sure you have all of your conditions diagnosed and everything is treated. Sometimes people with brain health or mental health conditions, they're usually, unfortunately, the last ones to be treated properly. And then you want to make sure that you have all of your limitations, that you're starting to communicate those if you haven't already into your doctor's appointments or if they get into your medical records. So that's the key. So it's diagnosis, treatment, limitations, right? I would definitely encourage you to use our disability approval course. If you're not a member, you can join us as a member. And the reason why I say that is it gives you the opportunity to understand the process and it shows you like what to do step by step throughout the process. So you just go to the Disability Digest and get started with your membership. I'm going to pull that up at the end and show you like how to get started with your membership in the disability approval course. Good question though. Remember, it's not the condition, folks. It is the limitations as a result of those conditions. All right, let's take one more. I missed a phone call. I was trying to multitask, so whoever it was, you're welcome to call back. My apologies. All right. So David has gone dark on us, and I'm just pulling up the disability approval course. I'm going to put that up on the screen here, and then we can guide Stacy through to the next steps. So once you join us as a member here at the Disability Digest, depends on how you fill out your profile. If you're going through the approval process, you would be directed to information that's going to help you get approved. But if you're already approved, you're going to be directed towards information that will help you keep your benefits, maximize your benefits. But for Stacy's situation and Karen, before, even though she's not approved yet, or is still waiting for a decision, is this disability approval course will walk you through like the get started steps, how to fill out the paperwork, the evidence that you need from your doctors, the third party evidence that you can collect from your family, friends, and support, what to do at your exam. So everything pretty much that you need at this phase of the process. And then if you get approved or denied, the way you use the course is you just fill out the form below and let us know. If you're approved, great, we'll update your membership so that we know that you're approved and help you understand what to do to keep your benefits and maximize them. If you're not approved, unfortunately, then you'll need to go on to the next step, depending on your state, the type of appeal that you would file. So that is the course. And the course is, it's not exclusively put together by the Disability Digest. It's put together with other industry experts. And I'm going to put them up on the screen here. Folks, I have the lines cleared if you'd like to call in. Okay, here we go. This is Brian, Terry, and thanks for calling. Can you hold a minute? I'm just going to finish up and I'll be right with you.
No problem.
Okay, thanks. So for those of you watching, the course is put together by individuals like Jonathan Ginsburg. If you watched any YouTube videos about, the Social Security disability environment, you've probably seen those. Carl Osterhow, ex-Social Security caseworker, Barbara Mountain, industry expert, legend, common speaker in these events. That will be back here in like 3 weeks. Attorney James Mitchell Brown, and a lot of tips from our members to help you go through the approval process. So anyway, back to the caller. Thanks for calling. It's Brian, Terry, and who am I speaking with?
This is Dee.
Like D-E-E?
Like D-E. It's Denisha, but D is much easier.
All right, D it is. Great. Thanks for calling. How can I help you?
My daughter's hearing is coming up in about 2 weeks. She's 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She has severe scoliosis. We used one of these very large lawyers to help us through the process. Initially, we had a girl who was great. If we ever had a question, she would contact. She would immediately answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
If anything was coming up, she would just update us. Hey, it's been this long. Don't worry, we haven't forgotten about you. She left that company. I heard from one lawyer months ago who basically went through some steps of the upcoming hearing and then realized it was in person, and he goes, that's hundreds of miles from me. It's not worth my time. Someone else will go. Okay. Now we can't hear from anyone. No one's returned my calls from there. And with the hearing coming up, I was wondering, should my daughter write a letter to the judge saying this is exactly how it affects me every single day? Or should we just go and see what the judge asks? Is there anything we can do in the interim to help her case?
Yeah, what I just covered in this event, that one-page legal brief?
Yeah.
I would definitely do that because I don't know. You don't know or have any certainty about your attorney or representative or what they're going to do. And submitting a personal testimony is totally fine. That's exactly what this is. So this would be a good application for it. Yeah.
That's what I thought, but I had to make sure. And it's so frustrating because, I had a wonderful person there and they just say, oh, well, she quit.
Okay.
She's not with us anymore. And it's like, I don't know how to proceed. I don't even know if we have an attorney for it because nobody has called back. Okay,
so let's do this. I'll spend a few minutes on this one because I want to help your daughter out. And we could use this as an example. So the approval criteria for children's benefits is different. But I am going to just on the screen here, I'll just create an example and then you can watch the replay and grab it back.
Good, because
Your
I walked
daughter
away from the
is-
screen. I didn't want an echo.
Okay, your daughter is 15?
Yes.
Okay. And for 15-year-olds, it's not proving that they can't do any job. And I don't do this type of work, so I'm just going to take a stab at it. I'm not able to have normal functionality. I'll just use that.
Yeah. For example, she missed 45 days of school last year. Not last year, the year before. And the year she just completed, she missed 24 days.
Okay, stay
But
with
they
me
do
on
not
this.
count the-
I'm going to come back to
Okay.
that.
Okay.
How long has she had functional challenges, like date-wise?
Since she was, oh gosh, since 2021.
Can you give me a month?
I'm going to say, let's just say April.
April 2021. And what's the primary condition or conditions?
Severe scoliosis.
Oh, I'm going to try to spell this. This is going to entertain people. It'll correct itself. Scolia. Maybe you know how to spell it.
SCOLIOIS.
Yeah.
I have to write it down.
I think I got it. Okay. No, I didn't. Okay, I got it. I have it corrected.
You got it?
Are there
Okay.
are there other conditions or just scoliosis?
She has we found out she has gait issues. She's always walked on her tippy toes. We thought it was to correct, to look as though she doesn't have a curve. Turns out she has limb differences. One leg is longer than the other
By how much?
by about 1.5 centimeters. So it's not significant, not hugely. And she also has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Okay. I'm going to come back to
So those are the two.
I'm going to come
Yeah.
back to the limitations in a minute. And is she what kind of doctors is she treated by? Primary care doctor? Like, is there a spine specialist? Is there?
Yes. She goes to it's about 200 miles from us, a major Shriners Children's Hospital.
Okay. How do you spell Shriners?
In SHRINERS.
Okay.
And she sees the head of the orthopedics department there.
Do you know the name?
Sam Donnie.
Sam spells his last name how? D-O?
SAMDANI is the last name.
Okay. How many medications is she taking, if any?
She is only taking ibuprofen or Tylenol because all the other prescriptions she's tried makes her extremely nauseous.
Okay.
She's had them prescribed in the past, and she kind of I'm trying to get her to the point of, like, if you're in extreme pain, the IB and her doctors are agreeing, these are not cutting it, but she's 15 and she refuses.
Oh, I have children. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, now
It's
now
hard.
we're
When they have a bad experience, it's hard to get them
yeah,
to try that again.
Okay, now we're gonna move on to limitations. All right, so what about just straight standing? If she was gonna stand for, how many minutes could she stand for?
Annie, what's your max standing limits? Would you say like 20 or more, like less than that?
23-ish minutes.
She says hi. She
Hi,
says
Annie.
maybe 20 minutes.
Okay,
Like 20-ish minutes, she said, but I have it. You know, that's a great day.
okay. And what about like sitting? Any
That's the
limitations?
other one. It's yes, she can only sit for so long before she has to get up and reposition or stand.
We need a specific on it though. So when you say so long, that
I
could
would
mean a
say
day, a month, a year, right?
15 minutes.
Okay,
After every 15 minutes, she has to adjust her seating position.
okay. Those of you listening out there have any comments or suggestions or blessings for Annie, you can put them in the chat. Okay, so gait issues, how do the gait issues like limit a normal like mobility? Can you help me understand that? Other than the sitting and the standing?
She tiptoe walks, and that
Okay,
it just trying to think, like, it's what we have always done is focus on what she could do versus what she can't,
good for you.
which I've realized now is a mistake when it comes to applying for Social Security. So, you know, even her friends have made so many adjustments. Like her friend came over the other day. They walked halfway. They were probably going, oh gosh, 500 feet up the road. And they had to stop twice because her back hurt.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So let's pivot a bit then. What about sleeping with the pain? Are you able to get, is Annie able to get a normal night's sleep?
No.
So how many
No.
hours on average?
I would say she sleeps maybe 2-3 hours straight before she wakes up, and it's going to take her another hour or two to fall back asleep.
Okay. Are there any other?
That is something nobody has ever asked us before, and I just realized that was probably very crucial information.
Yeah, I mean, you're not able to concentrate if you can't sleep. I mean, maybe some
No,
can. It
no.
doesn't work for me.
No.
Are there other limitations, like any lifting limitations?
Yes. She can't carry more than about 5 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
which makes an issue for school and the way they're set up.
Okay. Okay. Any other like standout limitations? I mean, you'll be able to craft this on your own. I'm just using this as an example.
Yeah.
Um,
The major ones for, like, you know, a 15-year-old girl is brushing her hair, bringing the hairbrush up and over the crown of her hair causes her
okay.
pain.
Okay. So is it the extension of the arm that is causing
Yeah.
pain on the
And then
back? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. If you're listening out there, well, I hope you are, if you're tuned in, this is hopefully you can use this kind of question process on your own situation for your disability approval or to craft your own commercial to help you keep your benefits.
And there's other ones like tying her shoes. She can't bend down to touch her toes. So she has to sit down, get in a proper position before she can even tie her shoes. So it's like if you're out and about, she can't just bend down and tie her shoes if it comes untied.
Okay. Okay. So I am going to put this into the prompt. Do you know who the judge is?
Let me see.
And how does, is it Anne, is that how she spells her name?
Annie.
Okay, Annie, all right.
Annie, where's that paper that we just got with the confirmation of the judge? Bear with me. I have all of it together in one spot, and of course, the one I'm looking for is not easily.
Somebody moved your spot, D.
We were looking for a separate paper the other day, wouldn't you know? It's in Wilkes-Barre. It is a woman. I am trying to remember her name.
What, how about this? You can come back to that. What is the date of the hearing?
The 27th.
Okay, so it's August 27th. Okay.
Yes.
Are you a member here?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how I found out about today's live. I got the email and then I was like, oh
Okay.
goodness, it's 3. I got to get to do this.
Okay, good. So I'm going to put this into the prompt and then I will actually save the final product and you can contact our support desk. And
good.
they will get this version of it back to you. So I'm going to put it into Chat GPT.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I found the notice of the hearing and I'm trying to see where it states the judge's name.
Bottom, at the very bottom. Okay, for those of you watching out here, I'm scrolling through the information that Dee provided me, put into a prompt so that a letter can be submitted to the judge on Annie's behalf. Okay, so I will swipe this and save
And I
it.
have one more. I have one question that we're wondering if it's going to reflect upon her negatively.
Okay, let's try that out.
She, despite missing so much school and leaving school early on numerous occasions, she's maintained a 4.0 in all high honors class.
All right, everybody, shout out for Annie.
Yeah.
Annie.
We are very proud of that because, you know, they're able to do everything online now. And her teachers have been excellent with allowing her the time to catch up or, you know, normally things have to be turned in by 2 o'clock. And they let her turn it in later in the day, like if she's having a very bad day.
Okay.
But when we did speak to that lawyer, he goes, was literally upset about that and goes, well, if she's not 2 years behind, we can just forget this.
I have a different opinion. So the work that she's doing is she's allowed to do it with special accommodations.
Yes.
So you need to really zero in on the special accommodations, and I would include that in your letter. You know, although Annie is attending school and doing very well, she's received some, make sure you use the word special accommodations.
Okay.
And that have allowed her to do work from home, etc.
Yeah.
And I want to just like pivot for anybody listening out there that is in the adult application environment. Same thing with work. I mean, some people work, but they have special accommodations like Annie has for school. So yeah. All right, and let's see here. I was gonna say your phone number. I'm gonna just see if your phone number is tied to a membership, and then I can make sure I can be proactive and have this sent to you. But was there anything else on your mind?
No, that was the main thing, is should she submit something before the actual hearing? Because I just felt like we can convey the issues, especially like after speaking to that lawyer. I felt we could, help give the judge a better idea of who she is and what goes on day to day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I found your membership. The first
Hooray.
part of your email starts with ROSE. Is that correct?
That's me.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to give our team instructions to send this to you.
Oh, we appreciate it.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you. I'm sorry for your challenges with, others out there, but glad you stopped by. I would love to have
Yeah.
you call back in with, or definitely let us know about the results of this. That would be great.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And again, congratulations to Annie for her academic achievement.
Yeah.
I received a 4.0 as well, but I had to get a 2.0 plus a 2.0 to get to the 4.0 when I was in school. So I just went about
She's
it.
going to like that one on the replay.
I just went about it differently, Annie. Please don't. Please don't
roundabout
judge
way.
me. All right, Dee Dee. Great. You have a wonderful
we
day.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
All right.
much. You all have a great day.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye for now.
Okay. All right. Bye.
All right, David, I'm going to put this on your task list. It should be pretty easy to get this letter over. I'll just put in the task, YouTube live letter. Okay. All right. And great. I have about 4 minutes left. I am scheduled to go for burger and a beer night with my mother and my two sisters. But before I do, I want to see if there's any last questions that we should address or clean up here. No? Okay. Boy, I sure hope she wins her case. Good God. Yeah. All right, folks, a few housekeeping issues. Next week's event, we will do some similar type AI prompts for jobs. Like if you're thinking about working, how to use AI as like a thinking partner. Like, okay, I've done this for work. I have these skills. What could I possibly do because I have these limitations type thing, right? So we're going to do that. And then we'll also teach you how to use like prompts like this for, you could write letters for housing, contacting a benefit planner, and then housing related issues. So that's what we have on tap for next week. So, and this applies to everybody. I mean, whether you're approved or not approved or working or right, or want to have a side hustle or whatever it is. Hopefully this will have value to you. So I see there's 400 and still increasing, 435 on YouTube. So I thank you all out there for taking time out of your day. There's a lot of other things you could be doing other than listening to us, right? So it's a privilege to do this. And once again, for those of you like Stacy and Karen that are going through the approval process and not approved, encourage you to, if you haven't already joined us as a member at the Disability Digest, to do so. And when you come to the Disability Digest, is this it right here? Then you're going to see a green button and you can click on the green button, and that button will help you fill out your profile for your membership so we know how we can better help you. Like if you haven't applied or you're applied and waiting or you're approved, right? So that information is critical. That's one of the big values of the membership. Of course, there's no cost for it. And then once you get in, if you're going through the approval process, we can direct you into your appropriate section of the disability approval course, get you in touch with the right resources to move you forward. And we have some support for you. We have like digital support. And in some cases, if there's availability, you can actually speak to somebody that will help you through the process. And if you don't want to do it on your own with the course, then you could talk about the option of having us partner or somebody else partner with you as your Social Security disability representative. Okay. All right. David, Philip, grateful for your assistance in today's program.
Great to be here with everybody today.
Yeah, good to have you back. I couldn't do this without you guys because I got a 2.0. No. Don't let education determine your outcome, folks. That's another message I have for you. All right, everybody, until next week, make it a great day. It's been a pleasure to be with you. Till the next time.
See y'all next week.
See you, everyone. Bye bye.